collective, I'm glad you are here. And today I want to talk about, well, partially about divine love, but mainly about forgiving. This morning when I checked out my Facebook, I saw someone put up a question that can you really forgive everything to your enemies, to the people who hurt you? And many people responded, because it's a kind of group. I think there are spiritual people in it, awakened people, and to everybody responded yes. And I know when we go through the dark night of the soul, yes, we do have to forgive, because if we don't, we can't heal. Okay. But I want to talk about this forgiving, because I'm telling you, it's not an easy thing to do, okay? And some of us has to forgive really things that other people can't, because it's just so horrible that most human wouldn't be able to move from this, okay? And so if you want to know what is this video about, I will talk about forgiveness and a bit of I will talk about a bit of divine love, okay? If you've seen the other videos I put up, there is one video where I talk about emotions. And this is really important when you become spiritual, because everybody is talking about you have to control your emotions. And me, I say, it's not controlling what is important when it comes to your emotions, but balancing them out. Because every human emotion has a purpose. And we are humans, because humans has a privilege to have emotions. And when we have emotions, we generate energies. Just look at that. When you want to raise your vibration, what do? You try to laugh, you try to enjoy yourself and feel good, okay? So it's attached to emotions. Every manifestation technique talk about that you have to feel. How do you feel when you will have the thing, what you want to manifest? So positive emotions can help you to raise your vibration already. So I talk about this, okay? But most of the time, spiritual people, especially divine people, don't know what to do with negative emotions. They want to suppress it, they want to control it, and well, it's better than nothing. But the problem is that, you know, when you clean your living room and you sweep the dirt under the under the carpet, that's what you do when you control emotions, okay? And from outside, you might look like somebody who is disciplined, somebody who's calm, but the shit is there under the mask, under the carpet. Really, what you need to learn how to transmute your negative energy, negative emotion that gives you negative energies, okay? Or attract negative energies. And you need to deal with this. You need to transmute it. You need to handle your negative energies. I'll talk about this. I won't go back. I won't give another teaching about this, okay? Because there's no point. But it's in connection with forgiving and the divine love. Because we were made to be humans. When you are humans, your emotions were given to you, negative or positive. So there is a reason for that. Because normally you were made to be perfect, and you are perfect in your imperfection. I don't know if you understand what I want to say. But pressing down heavy emotion. I'm not telling you to run around in your city or in your village and have a nervous breakdown, or I don't know, just be depressed. I'm not saying to give yourself to negative emotions. No, but you can transmute them in a positive way, okay? Please listen to this teaching I put up about emotions. They are really useful, okay? So, forgiving. When it's hard. When you are divine feminine, divine masculine, negative energies will test how much you can forgive. And if you really are divine being, they will go really, really far. I mean, can you forgive if somebody wants to kill your children? Or can you forgive when somebody did kill your child? Can you forgive such a horrible crimes that has been committed against you? Can you really forgive that? When you don't have a child, you say yes. When you have a child, just think about it. Someone would kill your child or want to kill your child. How would you respond? Would you just smile and give a fucking knife in his hand and say, just do it, honey. I love you with divine love? No. So, forgiving, it's very a long process. And some of us, it takes a really deep spiritual work to get there. Because when you have a really empathic, good heart, they will try to fuck you up really, really, really. And how can you forgive when you are caring, loving mother that some people wants to kill your child? How can you? And then you need a determination to stay on the light side. You understand? Because there are sometimes trials that you just can't go through without help. I'm telling you. Because I remember I've been through so many shits. Sometimes I just go to the spiritual bath so I could break some spiritual attack that was on me. And I just was crying to Source. That Source help me, because I just don't want to become heavy like them. But I can't resist it because it's so much pain. They caused it so much shit. I can't do it alone. Help me. You have to ask Source. You have to ask Universe. Because be honest, sometimes forgiving, it's beyond human power. Beyond. Because of our emotions, because of our attachment to people who we love. A certain situation is totally normal. You feel like you want to take revenge. Oh, honey, that can take over very easily, that negative emotion. And I'm telling you, it's a human thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing. But it's coming from actually loving your family, loving your children, loving the person who is been attacked or hurt because somebody wants to hurt you. Excuse me, I have a hiccup. So, please, see realistically these forgiving things. If you can't still forgive, don't beat yourself up. You need really a determination that you want to do it. You need really a determination to understand. If you don't forgive, you just can't move on. You just can't move on. And I know from my personal life, and I'm telling you, I get on higher and higher level spiritually in my life. And sometimes these energies, negative energies, or entities, or very karmic people without soul, who are not fucking giving up on me and on my children, and on my family, or the person who I love, you know. And sometimes I just get so fucking angry, and I can feel all these spiritual attacks. Now I'm taking it quite well, because I got stronger, I get more and more protection on me. Most of the time they don't even reach me, but sometimes they still do, because I love my children, for example. And that spirit just protecting my children so much that if somebody try to touch them, they will get straight away fucked up. So I just put everything on universe and source, the protection of my children. And I refuse to worry about it anymore, because if I do, I will get in this unforgiving state. And when you are in this state, you can lose your blessings. You can lose your high vibration a bit. Do you understand? And that's what I do not want. And the spirit does not want that. And if you're going through the same thing, you need to understand that if you're still at the beginning of the forgiving, it's a healing process. Do you understand? I couldn't forgive for more than a year for all the shit what they did to me or my children when I went through the dark night of the soul. It was so fucking hard. I couldn't. At first, I had to fall in love with Source. I have to fall in love with myself. I had to love myself, learn to love myself, and go through a spiritual healing process that took quite a long time until I could understand, until my spiritual gift started, for example, to work, to see the soul of these people, the source of the evil. And it was not going easily, one day to other, Oh no. And especially when you are under spiritual attack, because that's what they want, this negative energy, that you do not forgive. So when they know you have a weak point, they will attack you there. Do you understand? So, after, of course, when you highly ranked spiritually, you will get help on that area of your life. And they will be so much protected that it will be impossible to attack for negative forces, okay? So I'm not talking about that will be like that all of your life. No, this is really a test. Because if spirit want to trust you with a gift that is very important, or a destiny that is important for source, because it will have you will change lives, for example, or heal people, or I don't know, but it's essential for the development of humanity, your destiny. Your spirit will fucking test you. Do you understand? Because spirit won't trust people who has evil heart or impure intentions. I'm not saying you won't make mistake, because you will, like everyone else. But when you don't have the capacity to come back to the basic, to come back to source and humiliate yourself that you fucked yourself up again, please help me. Or I can't forgive because it's too much, help me. Or I can't become evil, help me. You know? When you have spiritual attack on you, because when you are spiritually powerful on a light side, people wants to turn you on the other side, on the dark side, okay? So they might launch spiritual attack on you, that you will feel this energy. And it will be really difficult, because they will do something to you or the people you love, that you will have this anger, you will have this hate, you will have this urge to take revenge. And humanly, it's very, very difficult to resist when you are touched deeply in your soul. Do you understand? You are a twin flame, and your twin flame die, because these bitches fuck your twin flame up. You will be fucking pissed off. You will cry for hours and hours, or days and days. you are really stubborn spiritually in a positive way, you have a spiritual stamina, you might finish in a spiritual bath, screaming to source that please help me, I don't want to become evil. And source will come. Source will help you. There might be angels who will come to you and take this burden off you, lighten your heart. Or you just cry it out. I'm almost crying. Excuse me, I'm an intuitive tarot reader, a medium also. So when energy is coming out when I'm talking, sometimes I can feel them so intensively, so pardon me. This pain that can lead people into negativity, it can be so tempting when you lose something really, really important or somebody really important for you. Or somebody who you are attached to, like your husband, your wife, your children, your twin flame, whatever, your mom, your dad, and they touch them. And they will. I'm telling you, they will. They will try it. After source, you have to work on that source will place your people under protection. So they won't have any harm close to them, because when somebody tried to attack them, for example, spiritually, there was many dark people who sent death spells, for example, on my kids. And not one death spell, oh no, honey. There were hundreds of them. So I thought I'm gonna go nuts, because I could feel all this energy and I couldn't be close to my kids. So I just, what do you do, honestly? How do you forgive these people? Or when they try to come up to abuse your child, or even kill your child, and you are medium or an intuitive tarot reader, and you can see and feel all that shit. I'm telling you, this is really, really fucking tough. I'm sorry for talking like this. I just want you to feel it, that sometimes forgiving is not just like you have a boyfriend who left you and your heart is broken. It's tough. But it's nothing like when somebody wants to kill your child. Do you understand? Somebody steal money from you. It's tough. It's hard to forgive because you worked really hard for that money. But can you see the difference of the severity of what you need to forgive there? Somebody killed your mom or killed your dad or your brother or your sister. How could you forgive that person? Somebody raped you. Somebody tortured you and raped you. How do you forgive? How do you put yourself through that trauma to heal and after capable to forgive the person who did? So maybe one day you can face that person and not to feel hate, not to feel anger. You have to be really fucking strong for that. And I'm telling you, that does not come one day to other. So if you're going for shit like that, I'm telling you, you're doing fine. And it doesn't matter if you can't forgive straight away. I'm not talking about narcissistic people that they are pissed off because they couldn't take you out. I had narcissistic people, I had to deal with narcissistic people, and they hated on me because, I don't know, I didn't want to sleep with him, or there was some woman who just wanted me to be her slave, or I don't know, under her. And she took it totally life-threatening, for she couldn't forgive me. Just simply because I existed and I didn't want it to die or disappear. So I'm not talking about this kind of narcissistic way that they can't release, that they can't forgive, even that you never ever heard them. Okay? I'm not talking about this shit. I'm talking about serious shit. When somebody really, really wanted to, for example, kill your child or kill your parents or sibling, whatever, or raped you, or something really that shook your soul, took some part of your soul away, and caused you a deep, deep fucking trauma. And it took you years to get out of it. And some people can't get out of it. Guess what? So if you're working on yourself, healing yourself, and trying to get out, trying to forgive, and it does not go yet, but you're making progress, I'm so proud of you. And you are so exceptional. Because I'm telling you, most of those people who go through shit like that can't do it. They prefer to stay in hate. They prefer to stay in revenge mode. I'm not saying maybe you had also thoughts like that. And I'm telling you, these emotions are totally rightful and human. But you need to transmute it. You need to be able to find force in negative emotion to change it. It's a kind of alchemy, okay? When you are capable negative emotions to transmute into something constructive. So this morning when this question was up on Facebook, I was really thinking about it, and I said, all these people say so easily, yes, I could forgive. But did they go through something soul-wrecking shit? I'm sure they've been through some stuff, because if you are divine feminine, divine masculine, you did, and you've been through the dark night of the soul. But most of these people has the level of broken heart from a relationship that didn't work, from, I don't know, losing money, people stole money from them. That is tough, both of them. I'm not saying it's not. But there are deeper level of loss that sometimes divine feminine and divine masculine goes through. And that is really, really, really difficult to forgive. And that is a process. If you go through that, Spirit can trust you after. Spirit can trust you because only a few humans who can do that. Do you understand? If someone kills your sibling or your mother, some people stay in a trauma, in a hate. And they will pick up develop different kind of psychological behaviors because of this pain. And they live an entire life like that. If you can get out of this cycle, and you can forgive, I mean really, really, I'm really admiring you. Because it's not easy. It's a really tough thing to do, and you need to have a very strong psychological and spiritual stamina to be able to do that. So I remember when I lost my children, there were some Christian people who told me, oh, there are people whose children are killed, at least your children are alive, so you should forgive. And I was just like, oh, fuck you, you have children, what would you do? You speak so easily. Sometimes people tell you things that they have no idea at all what the fuck are you going through. And it just pisses you off. When these people say things like that, and maybe they're right, but they don't have fucking idea what do they talk about. Because they never ever lost a child. Or they never ever went through the dark night of the soul so deep level than you did. After the source will give you the wisdom. Because you will see that each human has a different calling, different destiny, and usually those humans who's really, really fucked up, they have a really important destiny. And why they are really, really fucked up? because they need to be tested. They need to be source, universe, and God needs to be sure, 100% sure they can trust you. Because some gifts, what you will get, some destiny that you will have, will come with responsibilities that only a trustworthy divine feminine or divine masculine can fill up. And after we get again to these spiritual wars and some spiritual people on a neutral or dark side, they think they can steal your destiny, they think they can steal your gifts because they might do divination on you and see that, wow. No, they can't. This is something what they can't steal, okay? They might can steal gifts and destiny from karmic people who become spiritual, but they don't go through this awakening. But they can't steal such a destiny and such a spiritual gifts from a divine feminine, divine masculine who's been through hell, not once, not twice, but at least hundreds of times. And guess what? They climbed out every time. While sometimes this joke is on Facebook or some social media platform, but it's true that sometimes I felt like even in hell they don't want me. So when people push me down, I go down. I'm just a fucking badass warrior you become. That even all the negative entities in hell push you up and say, get away from here. We don't want you here. They even help you to get out of hell. Do you understand? Because you are so fucking badass warrior that they can't take you down. And when you are like that, that's what Source needs. Source needs warriors like that. Because people like that will become light workers. People like that become gatekeepers. People like that become healers. People like that become, they step into their destiny who are earth angels and star seeds. When you have a really important destiny with important spiritual gifts, you will go through fucking hell, not once, but hundreds of times. And every time you have to practice forgiving. And sometimes you will lose your emotions, huh? When something really important you lose. Or somebody try to touch people who you love and you are attached to. They try to hurt people, especially when we talk about parents and their children are touched. It's a very sensitive era. And Source will test you. I'm telling you. Source will test you. I'm not saying it's Source who does it. But Source will let on a certain level people to touch your children, for example. To see what's with you, what's gonna happen. After that is another thing. When you are spiritual, you need to protect your children spiritually. And if you don't do that, it will have consequences. Or if you can't because you are under spiritual attack, at least ask your ancestors, ask your spirit guides, your spirit team, the deities or archangels you work with to go and protect your children. You can call upon the ancestors of your children. People are really, well, you are on this channel, you are spiritual. Some of you are witches, okay? There are good witches, there are bad witches. And sometimes people tell me that, oh, this is white witchcraft, so that is a good thing. And after talking about all the red magic and black magic is so bad, and gray magic or whatever, blood magic, there are so many types of magic. And when you hear these, people imagine all kind of things, and yeah, they have a dark side. I'm telling you. But if you have to protect, for example, your child against like death spells, and not one but many, honey, I'm sorry for saying that. If you are witch, you know what I'm talking about. White magic is not strong enough to do it. Okay? So sometimes you have to use certain astuces from other type of magic according spiritual ethic. I emphasize that, okay? For example, if you want to protect your children, they are your own blood. So when you do a ritual on your protection of your children, to put on the protection your children, you can use your own blood. So when you do that, you use blood magic. Well, when you hear blood magic, you think already sacrifice and people, horrible people who does dark stuff. They are not on the light side. They are not white witches, blah, 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 blah. Well, you're right. But you can use your own blood to protect your children. For example, you protect your mom. You protect your husband, your wife. And that is powerful. If you're spiritual, you know the worth of blood in a spiritual realms. If you're Christian, you should know also. You're Muslim, you should know also, because you will show sacrifice. If you're Muslim, you will cut an animal, and that will be a certain sacrifice. If you know what I'm talking about. Well, if you're Christian, you know that blood of Jesus spiritually is taken on you when you are under spiritual attack, and it does protect you. So the blood has very important spiritual significance, and it's a taboo. Because when we talk about it, people straight away start thinking about blood sacrifice, the killing babies, killing whatever. No, you don't do that when you are divine feminine or divine masculine. You don't touch such a thing, and it's crime. You don't even kill an animal to use their blood, because it's for a divine-hearted person, it's unclean. You understand? But you can use your own blood. And it's really powerful. That is just an example. Do you understand? Sorry, guys. I'm just talking about this, that you need to see spirituality a bit realistic way, but in the same time apply spiritual ethic. So you don't go on the dark side. You understand? It is really important that when you can't forgive, and it's possible when the horrible things happen in your life, especially when you lose somebody who is important for you, you really have to go to source, go to God, go to universe, and say that humanly, it's impossible for me to forgive. Help me. And I will help you. They will help you. Just be honest. When your mind and your soul knows you have to forgive, but you can't, because what you have to forgive, such a crime against the human rights. That is so hard. I know women. Well, different. I don't want to go in this deeply, but you can hear their voice often. Sometimes in India, sometimes in Pakistan, sometimes in African countries, that they speak up against rape. That they have been raped, not once, not twice, not one man. Sometimes a group of men rape them. Sometimes these people who rape them threatened them to kill them, and their life was worthless. They were like prisoners, and somehow they escape. And they pull themselves together and stand up and speak in public about it. If you are a woman and you were raped, you know how much force, how much healing you need, that you can stand up and talk about it publicly, that you were raped, that you were tortured, and you speak up against it. When you know that the religion you are in will persecute you for that. Especially if you dare to put up a t-shirt that has a bit of décolletage. Okay. I'm just trying to make you feel that there is difference between forgiveness and forgiveness. And some forgiveness is impossible humanly. The only way you can have it, if you ask Source, you ask God, and you ask Universe for help, because humanly is so impossible, because you've been through something extremely and deeply traumatizing. I heard also a woman out who, as a child, was offered in a secret society to be raped regularly, 3-4 times a week. They organized parties. She, as a little girl, went there. Her mother sold her. And when they finished with her, they took her back to her mother. And next day she went to school. She put up a testimony about this on YouTube. It was on YouTube for many years. And after they took it off because it caused more and more scandal. And apparently there was this, in the secret society, a man who saved practically her life, because after a certain age, they kill these children. So there is no testimony. And somehow this woman stayed alive. And the way she was talking, and I looked into her eyes, and the emptiness, the soul of this woman was destroyed. The trauma was so deep, so profound, and deeply in her soul, I saw this stamina. I'm almost crying, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really, really empathic. So when I saw all this stuff in her, I was crying. That gives the beauty of your soul, you know. Your spiritual stamina, all the shit that you have been through. And you have still the force to fight. You have still the force to come out. And this woman also refused to give in to the suffering. I could see she could not forgive 100% yet, but she was on a path of healing that is very long for some people, because the shit they've been through is really deep. And I'm telling you, there are many women and men who watch her on YouTube, who were abused in their childhood. Maybe not that much than she was, but it gives them force to heal. And it gives them force to overcome difficulties like that. We need to understand that words has power. So when you say that, yes, I can forgive, be careful. Because universe will test you. Universe will test you. Forgiving is really, really fucking hard. And not everyone can do it. Especially if you are touched really deeply by an important trauma. I'm telling you, it's really, really difficult. So be careful when you judge people and say that, oh, you can't forgive. Excuse me. Put yourself in their shoes. But sometimes you can't because you haven't been through the same stuff. So you just can't. And you just have to pray for that person or try to help somehow that person. If you're rich, you do healing spells so that she could heal or he could heal. Or rituals. Or trying to explain these rituals to that person so they could do it. Or you are religious, what kind of prayer they can do. So Source, Universe and God could help these people to heal. Do you understand? But do not judge them if they can't forgive. Do not judge them. Because you have no idea what the hell they have to go through. And be careful when you're judging them, because maybe one day you will be in the same situation. And then you will understand that shit, I judge this person and it's happened to me. That is karma. It is not a shame to have bad karma time to time. Because that is human experience. That's how we learn. And when we go astray, we need something that brings us back to the right path. Do you understand? It's happened to me also that I was judging someone who I just met on the train. And it was obvious she needed help. But I judged her because I said, if this shit happened to her, a police or the juridic system can't make such a mistake, you know? And she really needed someone who helps her. And I think that's why she came to me, because I already healed people and helped people. And Source wanted me to help this woman. And I ignored it because I judged her according to what we learn in society. And 7-8 years later, I was in the same shit. Then I remembered shit. Now I understand what she was talking about. Do not judge people, because one day you might be in their shoes. And maybe you will be in the same shoes because you judge that person. Because maybe that person was sent to you to help them. Do you understand? I'm not talking about these witches, bitches, pervert narcissistic people from your past who just want to get back to your energy, so they try to come back somehow and ask you help or say sorry, so they can fuck you all over again. No. If your intuition says that you have to stop every connection with your past and every pervert narcissistic person or everybody who is in your past and just move forward, then do it, okay? Because it's your own boundaries. I'm not talking about that. But then somebody you don't know at all, and spirit send that person to you, and you don't listen to your intuition, you just judge that person. You might will be in the same situation soon, or in a few years. And you will remember that shit, I didn't have this person, and she or he had nobody. So listen to your intuition, because sometimes that is the message that you have to leave them behind. Sometimes that is the message that you have to help them, because you are the right person who can help them. Do you understand? You have to be really open and listen to your higher self to know what to do. But forgiving, it's not an easy thing. Because it's hard. Sometimes you can't forgive yourself neither. Just think about it. Your own fucked up situation, when you realize and you feel bad about yourself that you did something, honey, that is the first step of healing. But it's still much easier to forgive yourself than somebody who hurt your parents, to hurt your family members who you love and who are attached to you. Do you understand? I remember that I was not fully awakened. It was the beginning of my awakening, and somebody left a little cat who was ritually sacrificed in front of my front door on a step. And I opened the door and I saw the cat. It was just a cat, a tiny cat, you know. A kitten, rather. I was crying like a baby. I felt the pain of the animal. It was exactly the same than somebody would have sacrificed a baby. Because that was a baby for an animal, do you understand? And I just, emotionally, I had difficulties to deal with it. And I just remember I put that well, I did something spiritually to cancel the ritual. So I had to do something put some stuff on the animal. And after, respectfully, I put it in a plastic bag and disposed it. I was crying like a baby. That half can do that to an animal. That person has no soul. And I was right. The people who did that ritual on that animal had no soul. I went back to my house and washed my hand, and I had a spiritual bath because it was just, I just couldn't put myself through this shock. Do you understand? And before I went in my spiritual bath, I started to get more and more angry and pissed off. I hate these people. I'm fed up. And you know, I'm a fire sign on top of that. So we get really fiery very quickly. And I was like, I go and I will spiritually destroy these people. Are they dead to touch this animal? And you know, just this fiery spirit that fire signs has usually. After a spirit told me, calm down, calm down, calm down. Yes, this is horrible. Yes, this is really traumatizing, but calm down. I finished up in a spiritual bath crying because it just shocked me. How can someone touch an innocent animal like that? And it just, I just cried it out. I could feel the divine presence, the divine justice, the divine presence, the love and care of the source. And I just let it go out. All the rage, all the hurt, all the anger. Because I just wanted to punish these shitty asshole people who did that. Do you understand? And I'm divine. Well, I was starting to become spiritual at this time. It was at the beginning of my journey. But still, it can happen, things like that. That I call it holy anger, but it has nothing holy about it. It's anger, it's rage, it's wish to take a revenge. But you need to calm down. You need to go back to your place. You need to go and get that spiritual bath, or I don't know, start meditating or something to do spiritually, so you could get to this place where you have a communion with Source, you have a communion with divine universe. So you could relieve yourself from this unforgiveness. So you could forgive. You could release the pain. You could release the anger, the rage, all that. I'm just being honest with you because just think about it. Well, if you are empath, you know what I'm talking about, because we feel the pain. We feel that, honestly, it was just a little cat. I could feel I could feel all the shit that cat must have felt when they were cutting him up. Do you understand? And I just was so angry with these people. And I'm just giving this example that you understand. You have to give your anger to source. You have to give your anger to universe if you can't deal with it. After, source will teach you how to transmute these negative emotions. But it's human, you are human. So if you release it time to time because you can't deal with it, it's so profound, it's so much touching you, it can happen. Forgive yourself. It's a learning process. Do you understand? But at least you learn really transmute this energy and not just sweep it up under the mask of, wow, I'm an alchemist. I know the hermetic way to deal with emotions. I totally control with my emotions. And what you can see is a human being who's good like a fish and can't love because they're controlling their fucking emotions so much that they don't have any more human emotions. Even smiling, you can see it's just like they try to control every muscle or everything on their face, and when they can't do it anymore, one day it will explode and all the shit comes out of them. Because let's be honest, you can't sweep the dirt under the carpet all the time. One day there will be so much fucking dirt under the carpet that it will get pulled out. The same thing is with hermetic mask that you put on your face, you put on your soul, and you say that you totally control your emotions. Maybe for a while. You practically unalive your own emotions. You become a cold person. You take the essential things away from yourself that was given to human is emotions. Emotions are powerful and they can be used for spiritual growth. And that's why we are on earth, to learn this. You understand? So forgiving, it's an emotional thing. And sometimes, as humans, we can't deal with this. We need help from source and universe. And I'm encouraging you to do that. When you can't forgive yourself or somebody because the deep trauma they caused you, it is possible that it's really hard or impossible to forgive. But still, I don't care how much you had a rage or an outbreak, or it's, I don't know, maybe you were publicly humiliated because you bursted out publicly. And I'm telling you, might had even right to do it because that injustice that you've been through was real, you know? But go back in hermit mode. Well, take your spiritual bath or sit and meditate. I don't care how you do it, you will find the right way. Some people imagine something really lovely place. Some people, I know, astro project or astro travel straight away with the meditation to a world where they feel safe, and there they try to contact with divine and ask for help. But the most important thing is which is those rituals also, to try to get rid of that, to be able to forgive. I know, but the main importance of forgiving you, when it's such a deep level that you can't, you ask help from source and you will have it and you will be able to forgive. And if you can't at the beginning, don't be mad at yourself, because it's totally human and it's totally normal. Just don't fall in a trap that you let that hate and anger eating you up inside. You need to give it to source. You need to ask help. If it's such a deep unforgiveness what you have, that you can't forgive, you have to ask help. Do not let that stay in you for months and months and years. Because after it will attract more and more negative energies, and it will be blockages for your divine energy, for your divine life, manifesting. It can fuck up your life pretty much, okay, if you don't forgive. Well, this is my video about forgiving. I hope it's helpful for somebody. Well, if it's really helped you, I would really appreciate that if you leave some comments. Well, none of us like to write on everything, or half of us are live. But a few words that would really help me, that it's really useful I'm doing here. So, and I wish you well, really, that if you have problem with forgiving, that really go to source, go to universe and ask help, because they will help you. And don't let negative energies to stay around and fuck you up more and more, because you are incapable to forgive. Do you understand? There are situations when it's difficult, or even I would say impossible to forgive. And that are the situations when you have to call for divine help. And ask source to help you. And be honest. And say you want to forgive, but you can't because it's too deep. Just pour out your heart, and a help will come. Okay? Well, namaste, everybody. Thank you for watching, and the peace be with you and be blessed, all of you. Thank you.